everyone, Dr. Smith, physical therapist here. Today I'm going to break down how to make more money as an outpatient physical therapist. Whether you are a new grad physical therapist looking to get paid well in outpatient physical therapy, or you're a seasoned employee, or maybe a new employee waiting for your yearly or 90-day review and you want to increase your current pay package, your current salary. Before I get into this, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the like button below to make sure you don't miss any content. Turn on those notifications. If you are a new grad physical therapist wanting to be paid well as an outpatient physical therapist, I've said this before and I will continue to say this, the fastest way is to become a traveler or start a cash pay practice. As a traveler, you know how much you are getting weekly, usually $1,600 plus after tax per week, which is obviously more than what most staff PTs make. And again, you get paid weekly, you know how much you're getting paid, you know within 13 weeks how much money you're gonna take home. And at the same time, if the job sucks, you're done in 13 weeks. The second option is cash pay. With cash pay, you set your own rate, nobody dictates your plan of care, and even if you charge half of what most current cash PTs charge now, you will still double what staff PTs are making hourly. Now, these two pieces of advice do come with the caveat that you can actually be paid well as a staff PT, but usually it's for private practice. The bigger companies may offer mentorship or residencies you have to pay for, but in reality, they're gonna start you low based on your years of experience, which as we know is stupid because everyone's license bill's the same regardless of years of experience. So I recommend you stay away from the bigger companies because if you start lower, your glass ceiling's lower and you're just basically losing money by accepting an average job at a bigger company. Previously, I mentioned obviously for new grads, travel and cash pay, you're gonna see a fast ROI, but again, at the same time, maybe you wanna be an employee first. Private practice is a good route to go down. But before you even interview for private practice, make sure you understand the business. Make sure you understand reimbursement. Because if you don't, there is no reason for a private practice owner to pay you more than what you would make at a big box chain. At the same time, you can learn other skills such as Facebook ads that can allow you to bring in traffic. But if you don't understand the business model, again, there's no reason to pay you more. So you need to learn the business structure of PT, insurance-based PT, cash-based PT too, and at the same time, make sure that you learn some other skill that makes you more attractive to the employer. Because if I was your employer and you came to me a new grad, don't understand insurance, don't understand reimbursement, as a business owner, I'm gonna lowball you because it's like, okay, you don't know what's going on, max profits for me. Is it fair? Is it right? No, but in an oversaturated market with reimbursement cuts coming, I can understand why many owners are trying to cut costs and hire cheaply. However, if you come to me and you're like, I understand Facebook ads, I understand billing, I understand how to bill appropriately and still be profitable even with the cuts because evaluations are now billing more and we can change the model and do other things, use some cash pay models, and you come with a business plan, a structure, and show me that you know how to grow and expand the business, well then I'm gonna offer you more money. And this is the same mindset that many business owners have. Not all, and if they don't, fuck them, right? But most importantly, you will be able to tell during the interview whether it's a good fit for you or not. And if it's not and it keeps happening, then again, look at travel, look at cash pay. Now, another thing I will mention is that some bigger clinics or even smaller clinics will pay you a lot more money if you go to a rural area. Same thing with travel though. If you're willing to move, willing to work in certain areas, you're gonna see more money than being in an overpopulated area. That really doesn't have to do with reimbursement either. It has to do with just saturated markets. If you have any questions at this point in the video, please comment below and I will move into the next section talking about those of you that already have jobs. If you already have a job as an outpatient physical therapist and you're just waiting for your salary increase, your pay increase, look historically at what the company has done, how they reacted during COVID, and really look from an objective basis if it's even a possibility. If it's not a possibility, it may be time to jump ship. I'll post a Forbes article below that shows that those that change jobs even once earn over 50% more in their lifetime. And usually the way to get paid more faster is to leave your current position. There's research on this. Again, the Forbes article is going to show this. Usually there's limited upwards mobility at one company, and the way they get paid more is to make lateral moves to other companies, go lateral up, lateral up, lateral up. And that's how you get paid more. I've actually done that myself from my first job to my current job. And within those 3 job movements, well, mine is a travel contract, I've actually doubled my pay each time. Realize that may be something you need to do, or maybe you need to pick up a travel contract or start your own cash pay business, because if objectively, without any emotions, anything like that tied to this, it's not gonna happen, make sure you realize that sooner than later. Now, if it is gonna happen, look historically at what the usual number is, but if you don't like that number, go ahead, look at how many patients you're seeing, who the payer is, and how much revenue you are generating for your clinic, your organization, your company. When your review comes up, show those numbers, have a discussion about them, have proof that you're the reason the numbers are where they are and that you want a percentage of that. If you work for a reasonable employer, there should be no problem giving you a raise based on those numbers. Some people may be offended by this, some people may be afraid to do this, but it's your right to have access to these numbers. There's nothing illegal about sharing these numbers. Your employer can't just take them from you. So make sure you look at the payer and you can ask. Don't be afraid to ask. You need to have these discussions, and I'm sure your employer is going to be grateful for you understanding the business. Now, if they get shady about it and they don't want to show it to you, well, it's probably because they're paying you way too little for the amount of money you're bringing in. And again, that's a sign to jump ship. There are fair employers out there who pay well. Unfortunately, we don't hear about them too much because everyone else is dicking around. But have these conversations, try to show how much money you're bringing in. And again, your employer can also show you, I have this cost, this cost, this cost, and that's where the money goes from the money you bring in. And that's okay to have those conversations so you understand, but you guys want to be on the same page. The more on the same page you are with your employer, the easier it's going to be for them to pay you fairly. Now, I do realize that you can do all this and not see a single pay raise. And that brings me to my next point. Many of you have reached out to me on Instagram or other platforms and have said to me, I didn't find your content until after I had this job, and now I realize that I'm making them a lot of money, but I'm not being paid fairly. I have a 90-day review coming up, and I want to renegotiate my contract. What's going to happen in this situation, though you are probably right, your employer usually gets mad in these situations because you're like, why didn't you just tell me this 90 days ago, but you didn't know? In these situations, usually it's best to just leave the company if you can. Now, some employers, again, are reasonable and are like, okay, I understand. But most of the time, from what I've seen, they're not going to be reasonable. You're going to piss them off. They're going to feel like you don't like them anymore. And it just creates this weird dynamic. But it's a conversation that should be had. However, once you have that conversation, realize you're probably going to have to change jobs. But changing jobs is going to get you paid more. Hopefully, this video has covered how to get paid more in outpatient physical therapy. As you have heard me say many times before, my goal is never to keep you a staff PT for life, but to teach you how to use employment to increase your income, to then use that capital to invest in other things, invest in other avenues, ventures, whatever you want to do. I don't care if you put all that money in Bitcoin. It's just that you should never rely on one source of income, and doing so can burn you out and stress you out, especially if you pay $200K for a doctorate in physical therapy and you're being offered $32 an hour. That's just straight trash, because there's PTAs who are making more than you with no debt. And it's not against PTAs or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that realize that the ROI is just not there in outpatient physical therapy. It can be through cash practice, through travel, through finding a decent employer, or opening your own cash or insurance-based practice or hybrid model. But schools did not teach you how to do that. Schools taught you how to be an employee, and we need to change that. That's why I make these videos. It's why I tell you how to get paid. It's why I show you how I made over $13,000 in 30 days online in my last video, because it's shit that should be taught to you, honestly, in elementary school. But that's another video for another time. I hope this video was helpful. If you guys have any questions, comments, complaints, concerns, please comment in the comment section below, and please subscribe to the channel. Again, I'm Dr. Smith, physical therapist, and thank you for watching. See you in the next video.